Reviews don't tell us what features to add. They tell us what problem is not yet solved. Let's do it. We're not going to be using reviews as product ideas. Reviews are not an idea generator. We're going to use reviews as a diagnostic tool. We're not reacting to individual opinions. We're going to be looking for repeated patterns over multiple buyers. When people say read reviews for differentiation, most people do this wrong. They usually look for feature requests, and that's not how reviews work. And sometimes we're going to have to read between the lines to figure out what the consumer is really looking for. Having a deep experience with this type of product is a huge advantage. You can understand what motivates people, what frustrates people, and what changes they might want. We have to approach it with caution. Our own personal experience is a sample size of one. We need data that tells us that other people are looking for a same or similar experience. We are going to be using reviews to find blind spots and not to validate our own ideas. We need to be very careful about that. When we start looking at reviews, we're going to be predominantly focused on complaints. Those are opportunities to improve, but we should be mindful of what features and aspects of the product people really like as well. We don't want to accidentally remove the feature that most people really liked. When I think about the negative reviews, I like to bucket them into three main categories. Execution problems. Product breaks, doesn't function very well, the materials feel cheap, or it doesn't function as described. If this same execution problem shows up again and again and again, that may be a very easy solvable opportunity. Expectation mismatches. The product may work fine, it's just not what the users expected. This typically comes from the positioning, the marketing messages, or just the product photos. If the product doesn't meet that promise, people are going to have an expectation mismatch. It's important to note here that expectations are tied to the price point. If the product is a very cheap version of something that's usually very expensive and people expected it to be great, that may not be a fixable problem. Fundamental product dissatisfaction, people are just not happy with the entire category. If a buyer doesn't fundamentally like the product type, no amount of differentiation is going to fix that. There are a couple things we should not use for differentiation. We should not use your own opinion if it's not validated by many. We should not use one-off feature requests. We should not use singular opinions. We should not use complaints that contradict each other. If that product has a 4-star rating or higher, there's going to be some amount of negative review noise in there around broken, defective, etc. That's just products in Amazon in general. The key areas I recommend focusing on for differentiating your product are fixing repeat execution issues, making your product easier or more intuitive to use, or just making your product more reliable. There are cases where reviews tell us we should walk away if the buyer expectations are not going to ever align with the price point, or the same dissatisfaction seems to appear across all of the different competitors. Those are indicators to focus on a different product. We can leverage AI to help make this process a little bit more streamlined. I download a Chrome extension called Amazon Reviews Exporter. I download the reviews in bulk, and then I upload them into ChatGPT and process consumer sentiment. You can and should do this. It will be additive to your research, but it should not replace reading the actual reviews. The person who reads the reviews is always going to know the customer better than the person who just reads the summary. Reviews refine good ideas, they do not fix bad ones. Once you understand differentiate, the next step is to study your competitive set. We're going to cover that in the next video. If you skipped any of the earlier videos in this series, go back and watch them. The order matters here.